I've experienced burnout 3 times in every phase of my career. So I actually started my career in investment banking, then tech, then as an entrepreneur. And I hit burnout in each, and they looked different. So my first experience with burnout was definitely the most drastic, where I'm like, okay, Ari, you got to get your life together. This ain't it. What I will say is, coming out of college, where, I'm working investment banking. I am a Black woman in a predominantly white male dominated space. So you know how it is, right? When you come out of college, there's a lot you got to prove yourself. So I was definitely that person who was just taking all the things. I never ever said no. I was the yes girl, and I took a lot of pride in being able to do all the things and being known for beasting at all the things. I got to a point though, I was getting 4 hours of sleep. I had a role at a very young age where I was managing people in 40 different countries. I grew up the rankings in investment banking very fast. I'm proud of it, but it did absolutely lead me to burnout. I woke up one day and didn't know where I was the most drastic. And that was, burnout, for those who don't know, burnout it's more than just exhaustion. It is stress. It is chronic stress that has built up over a long period of time. So some people may be burnt out for 2 years and not even know it. But when you're in this state of constant fight or flight, when you're constantly stressed out, that is when you get into the zone of burnout. So what it looked like for me before I even hit that point of not knowing where I was, because I think that's when I hit the ceiling, where I was like, okay, now you have to take several seats. I absolutely had signs. When I tell people to think about burnout, there's usually 3 things. It's exhaustion, it is feeling less connected to the work and to work and your people, and then just reduce personal efficacy and how you perform. So what it looked like for me on the exhaustion piece, I was not getting enough sleep. I started to lose excitement for the work, the joy and in my work. I was definitely experiencing health issues, so more migraines than I've ever had in the past, maybe even feeling aches in my body, having sometimes trouble getting out of bed, and these are things, and unmotivated just simply to get these things done because I'm exhausted. The other is just feeling less connected to my work and feeling like sometimes the work that I'm doing didn't matter. Although I was doing really well and I was killing the game on the outside, how I was feeling was a little less connected. I'm generally a very happy, optimistic person, and I found myself having a different personality, where more of a Debbie Downer, more cynical, maybe negative, snappy with the people around me, my loved ones, because I wasn't getting enough sleep, and maybe even starting to just struggle with focus and concentration. So again, I was still doing well, and I think this is where people get it a little twisted. They're like, oh, I'm in burnout because I'm just doing bad. It's like, no, you were doing really well, but just turning off all the signs that you see in burnout and just plowing through. Because we are wired for the grind. Let's be real. We're wired to keep going. Me being a first generation immigrant, it is like you keep going. You could rest. You could rest when you're retired type energy, which is toxic.